Time.tv.
Previously on Mystical Ninja. Well, hello once again, and welcome back to Nathan Plays Mystical Ninja. My name is Nathan, and this is Mystical Ninja starring Goemon for the Nintendo 64. In the last episode, we defeated Benkei the Treasure Mongerer and got on with our quest, but before we go any further, I have an announcement to make. This video is now in S-Video. That's right. While I was kicking around my basement trying to find some cables for something else, I came across an S-Video cable for my Nintendo 64. S-Video being one step up in terms of visual quality from the old composite cables, the red, white, and yellow. And while the difference isn't going to be night and day, I feel like it's slightly better. So with that in mind, all future episodes will be recorded with this incredible technology. And that having been said, let's get right back into the action. So we start off in Folky Poke Village, and we're going to have to try and find the kidnapped children, which we know are rounded up at Dogo Hot Springs, but we're not 100% sure where that is. We did stop the dragon who was kidnapping them, but before we head out of town and try and find that, I wanted to, I was just weighing my options here a little bit. We can go on through the fields and things into the Tosa region, but also there was that mountain with the rolling boulders on it that we noped out of last time. I did take a quick look at my map, which honestly isn't that terribly helpful to me. I don't really know what these places are, or, you know, I don't have a compass. I'm not sure where things are in relation to other things, but it does look sort of cool, I guess, as a representation of Japan, so that's kind of fun. But yes, as I said, I was decided to head back up that mountain with the boulders all over it and see what was at the top of that. So here we are heading back in that direction. And as you can see, the camera is not pulled back terribly far, so you actually don't have a lot of lead time as these boulders come down toward you. It does make things a little bit tricky. Miss those. Oh, come on. Oh. Hey. Nice. Well, that was a freebie. A little bit of a platform there, and a doorway to Compira Mountain third block, as well as some a brand new enemy, these creepy mannequin heads that are shooting at me. More than somewhat alarming, if you ask me. But past them is a coffee shop, so that's a nice place to stop in at. It's so soothing here. I mean, you guys have a lot of problems. Yes, it is quite dangerous. I have to agree with you on that. Never going up or down these stairs again. Well, sir, that is probably the wise choice. Experience the same destiny as myself. Okay, what destiny is that then, sir? And of course, there is the old lady offering to sell stamina dumplings for 30 Rio. We don't have perfectly full stamina, but I think we're fine for the time being, so we're gonna chance it. Head back out into the world. So here we are in fourth block, which now combines the dangers of boulders as well as the mannequin heads. Fortunately, if you just keep moving, they don't really offer much of a threat. The boulders are still a little bit tricky to maneuver around, but it actually didn't take too terribly much effort to get to the top. Oh, come on. Ah, okay, so that one got me. Wasn't in time to get all the way to the side for that one. But in no time at all, we're on the Compira Mountain grounds. There's sort of a temple-ish area in the middle. Some outbuildings to the sides. Let's see what's in this one. Oh, it's nice. This fella here says it's Compira, not Campari, which, you know, maybe that's one of those jokes that just plays better in the original translation. Anyway, he says if you put 5 Rio into the donation box at the shrine, you will receive help from a higher power. How mysterious. 5 Rio into the chest. Yeah, okay. Well, why indeed? You're right. It was an accident that I hit A on you a second time. I apologize. It's sort of like in The Legend of Zelda when you're clicking through the owls, you know, endless talking, and then he says at the end, should I repeat that? And you're just like tapping the button. You're like, oh, you end up hitting yeah. And then you don't like yourself very much because you have to do the whole thing again. I don't think that makes you a nihilist, man. It's probably fine. Well, I think we did our due diligence by looking around, so we're going to head up to the box here. This is the chest, I suppose. Tried interacting with it in different ways, and then I had a brainwave of, oh, why don't I chuck coins into it? And 5. The God of Money says he has received my Medal of Justice. And with that, I received the Medal of Flames. What does it mean? By continuously holding down the B button and letting go, a powerful medal surrounded by flames will be thrown. The torch can also be lit by using this. So we now have a charge attack with our money. We'll test it out here. It kind of does a nice sparkly effect, and then when you let go, boom. Unfortunately, it costs money, and that's something I don't want to be wasting all the time. So it's probably not going to use it terribly much outside of the puzzles and things. So having completed that little side quest, it was time to head back down the mountain and into the town. We'll just skip past that. It was not a terribly eventful descending of the mountain. A lot less boulders, which is nice. And now we'll head into Tosa region. We switched back to Yai. I'm going to struggle with that every single time it comes up. I apologize. So we'll start with the fields just outside of town, and of course I'm always checking those corners and trying to find the silver cat dolls. There's a little bit of a river there off to the side. I briefly weighed the pros and cons of jumping in to explore down there, but then decided against it and moved on. However, there is a rather lovely bridge across the way here, and from there we can start to go up the side of the hill. Some soothing background music to accompany us on our journey. It's actually rather nice. So there's the doorway back to the town that we were just in, and here's the doorway to the next region. Here we are at Vine Bridge. What's the deal with Vine Bridge? Well, there's these floaty fellas that are a little bit tricky for somebody with just a forward attack. And these very conspicuously colored panels on the bridge, which can only mean one thing. That's right. They fall right out from under you. There's a cat doll in the middle that we do want to try and get to, and I'm pretty sure I've figured out already how we're going to accomplish that. For the sake of exploration, I also swam to the other side of the river just to see if I could bypass this whole thing, and of course you cannot. You see the return of these guys from the first castle there, the transformed Oedo Castle. Lobbing their little shots at us, but they're not too bad. You just get inside their range as quickly as possible, and then it's not too much of a worry. So there's just some hills here, not much else to worry about. Means it's time to head back across the river, find the ladder, and try again. Some timely strength dumplings there. I just do seem to be having a little bit of trouble with those floaty fellas. Here we experimented one more time with the chain shot. See if that made hitting these guys at range any easier, and of course it doesn't because it's very difficult to aim the chain shot. So as you can see, Goemon has a little more of an up to down arc on his attack, whereas Yai is just straight out. So that does actually make certain things, like those floating enemies, a little bit more difficult, I think. Maybe I just have very, very bad timing. Also possible. So a nice relaxed climb up the ladder there, and we're going to attempt this again. And not fast enough. So that was attempt the second. Here's try number 3. Some of the platforms do miraculously reappear, which is rather handy. Made it. And this one looks about right. And it was correct. Nailed it. Strength gauge, that was actually the 4th. I think I collect 4. Anyway, that was enough to bump up my strength gauge by 1, so that's nice. 1 extra heart for me. And with some careful jumping, it is actually not so difficult to cross the bridge. Caution, cross very quietly. Okay, sure, quietly. In retrospect, that might mean that I could just walk across there, but I never actually tried it. So we come to a new area with sort of some nice stonework on the sides there. Tested out my fireball on one of the enemies. It works pretty effectively, as you can see. It's only 1 hit as opposed to the usual 2. But again, I just can't get over that it costs me money every time, and I need money for things. Cash is exchanged for goods and services. That's a requirement. So I let those incredibly slow guys surround me and bite me, which is kind of terrible. But you know, it all came back to even. Turn left here for Dogo Hot Springs. Oh, perfect. Here we are. Take a quick look around the area, just to be sure. Let's try getting into the hot springs themselves. The door to the Dogo Hot Springs is closed tight. There's a conspicuous sort of a hole off to the side there that can't seem to interact with, but all I know is that the door is not opening. Unfortunate, but we can follow the road a little bit further here. And there's a coffee shop. Well, that's handy. Now, the dragon, when he gave us the flutes of fast traveling, did mention that any coffee shop will also serve as a fast travel point as well, so it's important to pop into these things. No, I already fixed the dragon problem, man. That's fine. I fixed it. Yeah, I noticed that. Good. Only a dwarf. Interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yes, you are. Let's see what this little lady says. I saw a dwarf in Zazentown. He was kind of cool looking, but real mean. I think I remember a cool looking, but really mean guy back in Zazentown. This may be worth investigating. Get that guy out of the way just so he doesn't disturb us while we're playing our flute solo. For a moment, I thought we were just going to walk it back, but then I thought, nah, let's fast travel. Here we go. First, we've got to switch characters. Switch to the flute. And play a nice little tune. We're brought to the map where we can see each of the points of interest that we visited thus far, including up to where we are now. But we want to go to... not the coffee shop, Folky Poke, no, not Keys. One more, Zazentown. That's us. No, okay, yeah, just click it. There we go. So with that, we're treated to a neat cutscene as this dragon flies over Japan. It's kind of lengthy, actually. Maybe a little bit longer than it needs to be. It's still easier than walking. Wait, did I actually pick the wrong place? I did. Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, I remember why I did this. Oh, yeah, right. So I picked Folky Poke Village because I was worried about the door, but it was all a big misunderstanding and a waste of time. I thought I had seen something that was maybe would bring me to a different area, but I had seen it wrong. And so, with that, I fast traveled again and went to Zazentown, which you remember from the previous episode. We're back. Mr. Ushiwaka is gone. Oh, yes, as I suspected. Cool looking, mean, and now they're directly telling me about Ushiwaka, who was the fishing guy that made us do all of his dirty work for him. Alright, well, let's go find Mr. Ushiwaka. There's Benkei there. And after a little trip down the river to his area... Oh, hey, who's this little fella? It hasn't been that long. Yes, why indeed? Ah. Okay. Whoosh. And he drops out of sight. So I suppose we're off to the Golden Temple then. That was the area that you recall in the previous installment. There was a priest outside offering his autograph, but we couldn't actually get it. It wouldn't be for you. He says it's got to be somebody with a big nose and thread of eyes. Well, I'm not really sure what thread of eyes means, but I know a guy with a big nose. And if you'll notice, actually, on his character, there's a little bit of nose jiggle physics, which I find interesting. Anyway, the narrator's here to explain that the sweets in the cupboard at the temple will start falling from above. We're going to play a mini-game here, if you're not catching on. Catch 8 of them before the time is up, and you'll be able to use magical powers to make you shrink. Oh boy. However, if you're seen, something terrible will happen. Alright, and with that we are thrust into this game. Here we are in the cupboard. Chased by enemies. Whoops. So when the rumbling happens, that's your cue to get behind one of the objects here in the cupboard, because some sort of giant child thing is about to peek in on you. However, that enemy knocked me out from behind cover, and as you can see, I was defeated. Absolutely, I want to try again. I need to do this. So here we go. Attempt the second. First one's a freebie. Not too hard to get. You can hear another one has dropped. Oh. Fortunately, it seems that they do stay out for quite a while. Oh, that one's going to be out of my reach. Almost got greedy for this one, but I thought I would wait it out. Grab that. That's 3. Get away from me. Is it supposed to be a child? I'm not actually sure. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh. That was a stressful one. We're at 6 out of 8 with 42 seconds left on the clock. And I can see number 8 has just dropped. There we go. A seductive little dance from Ebisumaru. And we now have the ability to shrink as we wish. The mini Ebisu. You can shrink and get through small holes and narrow roads. However, remember that while using mini Ebisu powers, you will not be able to attack. Well, so there we are. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Oh, there we go. I'm about to fast travel back to the coffee shop just outside of Dogo Hot Springs in order to test my new ability out. Oops, too far. No, there we go. Skipping over the lengthy cutscene. Let's go right back to the part where I get there. Almost played the flute again, but you can cancel out before the animation is finished, so that's nice. That is just, I've said it a bunch of times, but that's always going to be satisfying, that slicing sound. Anyway, we now have our mini Ebisu power, and I'm just not really sure which button to press, so I sort of ended up pressing all of them. Turns out the answer is C up on your N64 pad. It's the very last thing that I tried here out of desperation. Suddenly, the answer is there. And we can head through this tiny hole. EO2 is our new area. Looks a lot like EO1. Except now this piece of drug paraphernalia is spitting fire at us, as, you know, as one might expect. I mean, does that not look like a bong to you? I'm sorry if that puts me over some sort of age category rating system thing. Kids, ask your parents what bongs are. I'm not condoning the use of illegal drugs in this video. I'm just saying that it resembles them. Anyway. So I'm just sort of arbitrarily picking directions here. I'm a little bit regretful that I didn't investigate that circular room off to the side, but came to what appeared to be a dead end, and then, oh, there's a ladder here. That's very handy. And up on top, it's time to be the star boy again. My favorite. Well, that one went pretty smoothly. Not quite. I'm gonna take this thing out before it shoots us. Good. And now the camera is unhelpfully refusing to move. But a couple of quick crouches. This one seems to be just out of reach. I tried my famous jump catch and my timing was atrocious. Time to run back around and attempt it again. Nailed it. One more, and there we go. We're across. Some inopportune gaps here. And we arrive at the top. Peach Mountain Shogun's Ghost Toys Castle. There's an opportunity to save the game here, meaning we're probably heading into a dungeon and a boss battle pretty soon. But I also decided that this was a pretty decent point to close off the video for now. So next time, look forward to our exploration of Ghost Toys Castle. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll see you next mission.